can do. I'm ready to go to battle. I'll put on a show, I'm about to take off. Never gonna stop till I'm shine. No, I'm about to take off. Never gonna stop till I'm shine. So get out, right, Tuesday. You can try it, yeah. 'Cause I love taste up, waste, yeah. Gonna stop till I'm shine. 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 I'm a vet, 'cause I work with every breath. Man, I love the taste of sweat. I won't have any regrets. They get upset when they try and just to rest. And I'm still right at my desk. Make them all feel so pressed. But that's the test. If you wanna be the best, it ain't easy, it's easy. If you wanna have success, keep going like possessed. Drive it deep into your chest. Every failure is a test. Learn the most, leave the rest. Ain't nobody know what I've been through. Ain't nobody know what I can do. I'm ready to go to battle. I'll put on a show, I'm about to take off. Never gonna stop till I'm shine. No, I'm about to take off. Never gonna stop till I'm shine. So get out, right, Tuesday. You can try it, yeah. 'Cause I love taste up, waste, yeah. Gonna stop till I'm shine. Gonna stop till I'm shine. Gonna stop till I'm shine. Gonna stop till I'm shine.
Can you see me breathing? Standing here without you. And I can see it's midnight. I cannot live without you. I'm terrified to see you. Hiding in the darkness. Colder when it's twilight. And I've been feeling restless. Too cold, too much.
pay. That's why I work every day. I'll be making money till I'm in my grave. Don't care what they say. About time with my money left to the bank, cause it's funny. The money keep coming. I manifest it. Seen these lyrics in your get it. I'm the bank, I'm invested. I get tracked and I have it. Money finds me attractive. I'm the type to make commas, turn a profit. I'm the boss, really wants good, but it ain't good yet. I'm just being honest, don't work for this shit. I'm usually modest, but this beat lit, so I'm going off, talking this shit. Yeah, I'ma be the hottest designer in drip. I'm just reeling with the honest. I gotta admit that I'm usually modest, but I work hard for my shit. I'll do the work, yeah, I'll do it till it hurts. I'll invest in my future, I'll invest in the purse. I wanna be so rich, life changes, and I don't ever think about how much I just pay it. Yeah, it's a dream, the American dream. Live on top, don't stop till you got everything. But there's balance, cause this life is a challenge. You gotta live in it now, I'm building up the gallery. Make commas, turn a profit. I'm the boss, really wants good, but it ain't yet. I'm just being honest, don't work for this shit. I'm usually modest, but this beat lit, so I'm going off, talking this shit. Yeah, I'ma be the hottest designer in drip. I'm just running with the honest. I gotta admit that I'm usually modest, but I work hard for my shit. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So keep working till it's hurting, cause that's when you start deserving everything you want, everything you need. Trust the process, take the fastest, keep on working till you bleed, Yeah, been there, yeah, done, 10 long years of breaking my but now I'm up, never looking back. I got more dreams that I wanna go attack. Keep on moving, never get up. I'll keep going, I can prove just what I'm made of. I got that fire in me, got that desire in me. I'm never tired, I'll be pushing till I'm finally free. I was made to break away from the pack, to challenge, to fight, and to carve my own path. This world wasn't made for the weak, they don't last. It's survival of the fittest, so be vicious and attack. I'll attack to make, turn a profit. I'm the boss, really wants good, but it ain't yet. I'm just being honest, don't work for this shit. I'm usually modest, but this beat lit, so I'm going off, talking this shit. Yeah, I'ma be the hottest designer in drip. I'm just reeling with the honest. I gotta admit that I'm usually modest, but I work hard for my shit.
All right. Welcome everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy week 13. I'm Tyler. He is Cal. How you doing, man?
I'll be honest with you. I was holding it together in the pre-show at the green room we were having, but I got a case of the summer sniffles.
No.
I am furious about it. And I feel like, I don't know if my voice is changing at all, but it feels like my head feels like it's about to explode right now. So I'm trooping through it. If I have to go through a July 4th with the freaking sniffles,
seriously.
The founding fathers would be furious if they saw me right now in my current state. So I gotta get on it.
Do you have allergies and stuff, or is it just kind of that time of year?
Well, my boss at work has just been hacking, has no common courtesy for people, and just been and everyone's been getting on him. He doesn't care. So honestly, I probably can sue. I don't know if I could. I have to look into some of the bylaws at work. But I'm working on a case real quick. If I have to miss any days, especially my freaking 4th of July.
Yeah, seriously, you got to fill out like a workers' comp or something like that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Golly.
100%.
All right. Well, we got fun show tonight. Plenty of power rankings, standings talk. We'll talk about an Angels Twins blockbuster that went through earlier today that I know caused some commotion. And then we'll take a look at this week. And then, as I had mentioned in kind of the message I put out, we'll be taking a look at our All-Star format, too, and kind of what we're going to be doing for that. We got a lot of cool stuff cooked up, so I'm excited to talk about that, too. But let's move into talking about this week. Let me get my bookmarks out of the way here. There we go. So power rankings for this week. Why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Okay, this is a new thing I discovered when we were kind of waiting around. The top 3 all being within 7 points of each other in the power ranking score.
Crazy.
What the heck's going on? And there's a massive drop-off, too, at number 4. So, I mean, and it's no surprise because week in, week out, these teams are scoring over 350 per week. So definitely wasn't breaking news. But the fact that they're all that tight, that was right away. I don't know how it took me a while to see that, but Dodgers now dropping 2 spots after putting up 400 points. What are we doing here? What do we got going on?
That's how close it is, though, right? Like you can score 400 points, but I would bet, I haven't even looked, but I would bet their strength of schedule was the worst. Yep, not even close. They played
it was a waste of a week.
They had the easiest schedule, by far. Wasn't even really close. I mean, the Yankees had a really easy schedule. The Nats had a really easy schedule, and that's about it. Everyone else is essentially like 250 and above, and he's sitting at 199 for last week. So, I mean, for him to drop 2 spots, it makes a lot of sense. But again, it also shows how much of a razor thin margin it is between those 3 teams, knowing that there's really a 500-point difference between the 3 of them and John in 4th place. So
yeah,
it's
I
crazy.
think everyone should be sellers. There should be 20 yeah.
At least semi sellers, right?
Exactly.
That crazy stuff. For me, speaking of sellers, the Phillies, they went 1-2 last week. Didn't have much impact on the power rankings, but certainly did in the standings as the Mets kind of continue to roll. But then they made a dump proclamation too, and I know I've had some conversations with Adam about kind of what he's looking to do and that kind of stuff, and very very interesting. But also, it wouldn't be an ABL season without Adam being in the playoff hunt and making a dump proc. So I think it fits in every year.
Is it like a dump proclamation just to cover himself? Is it like a litigious dump proc, or is he legit like, this is pointless?
I think if he had his way, he would trade all of his big time arms / bats for some big time young names, potentially minor league names, and still have a roster enough to fill out and get like the 6 or 7 seed in the NL and then be bounced in the first round. I think if he had his way, that's what he would do. Because that, and the only reason I say that is, 1, because of my conversations with him, but then 2, also that's literally what he's done pretty much every year. The only difference has been in the past he's been winning the NL East. Now he's probably not, I mean, unless he decides to change things, or team starts going crazy again or whatever, I'd be surprised if he catches the Mets.
Such a narrative shift from the end of May to now.
100%. It's crazy how crazy it can go.
Speaking of the NL East, I'll just continue on this, but Mets are on a warpath we haven't seen since like William Sherman. I don't know what's going on, but like it's a wild course of events we've had. He's just terrorizing the South right now. This guy. I mean, he like said, 1 loss in the entire month of June.
Yep.
What the heck?
It's crazy.
No one's stopping him.
It's crazy.
And it's not going to be stopped this week. Probably again. So. Yeah, I don't know that this Mets team is just juiced up right now, and someone's got to do something about this because it's getting a little crazy.
Yeah, it's great. Foreshadowing a little bit later in the current week preview, we'll take a look at kind of who he has this week as well. But yeah, I mean, I doubt that he'll lose the East at this point again, and barring any kind of crazy changes on Adam's end or some injuries. Knock on wood, certainly, but yeah, outside of that, and even if you look at the power rankings too, they're within 100 points of each other, right? Which would signify traditionally that this is a pretty even matchup in a sense, like either team could win it, but it certainly seems like the trajectories of those teams are different.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if if Adam hangs on to his pieces. If he does, he's got a good shot at least to win a series in the NL and keep it moving. But yeah, we'll see.
Another thing I had was it seems like Gary Blue Jays' moves have been kind of paying off. Comes out with a huge week, 3-0 week.
Yep.
Kind of starts inching up those these standings. Is now definitely within striking distance of the Yankees. Still is 7 games back from the Orioles, which is not ideal. But listen, I mean, I think the whole goal was to get past the Yankees when Gary put out the proclamation to pass Gary.
Yep.
So it's been working out for him so far. I don't know again how much of a heavy hitter he'll be once it comes playoff time, but it seems like this push is working out so far.
Yeah, I mean, according to him,
pretty easy week this week.
According to him, he's all in, right? So we'll see. Again, who knows what that exactly means? But and not that he's necessarily going to catch up to Steven, but Steven didn't have a great week this week either, certainly to his standards. So I know that's something that a lot of people will be looking at. For me, looking at the Pirates, we've talked about them falling a couple of times this year. Duke fell out of the top 10 again. He dropped 3 spots this week. The biggest faller, along with my next take that I have. But just interesting to obviously to see that. But then also he finally kind of went out and put some news out on the trade block. It was like, hey, I'm looking for a couple of rental starting pitchers, etc. And actually was able to acquire 3 of them. Chad Cole from me, Ryan Feltner, I think from Kevin. I can't remember I think it was Tampa who had him. And then he picked up Dallas Keuchel too. So he's got, and again, not that those guys are going to be winning a chip anytime soon, but just, at least he's hopefully going to be able to get starts. I would imagine those guys aren't, going negative every week, but they're probably not scoring maybe double digits either. So,
No, right.
So we'll see. But, and then my last one, again, speaking of that, the A's continue to kind of fall as well. David hasn't made any moves, I don't think, which I feel like in the past he hasn't always made a ton of moves, but he's always been uber competitive too. And it feels like now, maybe out in the West, he's, I don't know, giving up to Seth, and Seth is going to, take it home this year. I'm not 100% sure, but.
Yeah, I mean, Seth moving up 5 spots might be our biggest jump in the past,
huge.
I don't know. It's been a minute since we've seen that high of a jump for any team.
I mean, he scored the 4th most points. I beat him last week only because I scored the 2nd most, but he was 4th highest scorer.
He put up 343 points.
Yeah.
I'm like, the Mariners doing that was like, whoa, what's going on there?
He was a top 5 strength of schedule too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Crazy.
He downed a 300-point Phillies team. It was not an easy week for him. So
no, not at all. Not at all. That was pretty good of us right there. We jumped into each other's points as we kind of went through.
I was like, you brought the A's. I'm like, dude,
that was really
like that
good.
Wade,
that was
LeBron
really
Wade
good, man. I love it. I love it.
Good
You got to after this. You got to throw that into the chat.
It only took like 20 episodes to get that. I think we're starting to get there.
I hear you. All right, well let's move on to transaction stuff. We'll talk about the one and only trade that honestly made waves in the chat, and that was the one between you and I earlier today. I think it was Kevin who was saying, we did this just for the content, which I think we'd both be lying if there wasn't a part of us that said, "Oh, this is great. We get to talk about ourselves."
Yes, we should have waited a little bit. Honestly,
seriously,
we shouldn't have done it so early.
Right before the episode started would have been
correct.
Genius.
Correct.
Yeah, because unless, are you playing De Jong tonight? I guess maybe that makes a difference.
Yeah,
well, okay, all right. So maybe you wouldn't have had him then. So we made it at the right time. But yeah, I think obviously a couple of interesting comments. Which this is ABL, right? We can't trade 2 5th rounders without people having some sort of
known good player
opinion on it. Yes. So yeah, and it interesting because I obviously have put out a few different times this year that I was looking for second baseman, shortstop, some kind of combination. They're specifically second baseman because Massey has come back, but he, I guess, is in a platoon somehow, or maybe they're bringing him back slow or something. I don't. The guy was mashing before he got injured, and they're just like, we're not going to play him.
It was like Bobby Witt and Massey.
Yeah,
and then they're just like, I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah,
he was gone for a couple of weeks. We don't even know who this is.
Exactly.
The clubhouse one day. Get him out of here.
Seriously, it was the weirdest thing. But that's why I know I reached out to a few different teams. Obviously, you included, and Edmund was. I'm hoping again 2024 contract, something I'm looking for. I didn't
he was
really
pretty available, I have to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would assume so.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, for me, obviously being able to move Javier off the books, you being willing to to take him on and take a pick with him, was obviously enticing to me as well. And then Hayes, plays 3 or 4 times a week too, so a decent bat to maybe help you get a couple of wins, obviously this year too. But my only hope is that Edmund can somehow come back and at least be as good as De Jong has been this year, and not that he's been great, but he's been okay. But how about on your end? What was kind of your thought process behind it?
Basically, my thought was like, I'm already getting this. Whatever I get is free, essentially, in my head. So again, Didn't really have any biters on Edmund. I think maybe I had one other team like during the dump, but it wasn't like that serious at all.
Yeah.
They also want other players that I had out there anyway, so
Yeah.
they took more seriously. So when we negotiated that instead, no real biters on Edmund. I think now he's getting closer to coming back, which again I still don't know what the timeline is for him
Yeah.
on that. I acquired him thinking that it was gonna be
Soon enough.
Freaking Marmol, dude. I'm getting mad again because Marmol lied to my face when he was like, "Oh yeah, we'll monitor it through spring training." Dude, we're in July now.
Yeah.
Seriously,
It's
we're
crazy.
monitoring anymore. Just tell me what it was, and then just say how long it's gonna be out. That would have made my life so much easier.
Yep.
Anyway.
I agree. That I mean
Anyway.
that's freaking sports for you too, just in general. It
horrible.
feels
I
like.
mean,
But yeah, I mean, I would love
freaking-
all the news and notes I'm kind of seeing are that he has a chance maybe before the All-Star break, which would be
Yes.
like I would love for him to come back and play in like 2 games before the All-Star break just to kind of get the rust off, and then come back full strength after the break. That'd be great. And realistically, because I have Massey and Abrams in my second and shortstop spot, and then my outfield's pretty crowded as well. Like Edmund will just be the guy that I fill in pretty much everywhere, probably most likely at second base, between him and Massey. But having that flexibility, obviously, and a guy who again should play every day.
Yeah, I don't see how he doesn't.
Hey,
but
you just talked about the manager. You just talked about the manager,
they
brother.
absolutely will find ways. So Brandon Crawford gets a start every now and again. I don't know whatever.
Oh
man.
my gosh.
So frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway,
No, I honestly, if DeYoung can just be like league average next year for $5, I'll take it. That's really, I mean, that's fine.
No, is the J
better than Edmund for nothing?
Is the J silent? You just said it's
I
silent.
have
Is it
no
silent?
idea, man. Listen,
I thought it was
I don't know.
DeJong, so
The
that's how
guy-
I've always said it.
I want to say it's DeYoung. I honestly, I'm not a big pronouncer guy. I called let's see, I think Paul Skeens was how I initially was starting to pronounce it. So I mean that's what we're dealing with here.
All right, well, we're gonna look that up afterwards too, and we will also post that in the chat. How do you pronounce his name?
I'm freaking googling this right now.
then-
I'm not gonna leave this up to interpretation. If you're gonna try to sabotage me,
you go for it. Well, and I'll move us into
I'll be on
our
pronunciation.
our next section here if I can pull up the head-to-head schedule.
DeJong.
It's okay. So Jay,
Siri just said it.
all right, beautiful, love it. Now we know. Now we
With a
know.
loss. 0 for 2.
Hey, it happens. Of all
I've been
the
saying it
things
for
you could be wrong
years
about.
like that, by the way. The countless Cardinals broadcasts didn't even listen. Rick
Well, I was just saying you
who
weren't even
cares?
paying
I don't care what
attention.
Rick Horton says. That doesn't know anything. John Marie doesn't know shit. John Marie doesn't know a single thing. Quit yakking
man,
around.
I love
dude.
it.
Let's
I
get back
love
to
it.
the game.
See, it's funny because with the Twins broadcast, which again I don't really even get to watch very often or listen to very often, but like they're awesome. They're hilarious to listen to. It's just great. So
I think I use the Mike Shannon pronunciation where he's like half through Budweiser, he's like Paul DeYoung there. I'm like, I'm just going off of that.
Joe in chat is saying that it's how you're saying it, DeYoung.
Yes.
So
Joe, the
he
other Cardinals fan
says
here.
he says Siri is 100% wrong. So
Thank goodness, dude. Okay, that feels so much better. I need a broadcast or something,
we need to.
or just him. I just need him saying his own name. How about
So
that? That'd
I
probably be
googled
better.
it. I googled it, and it's DeJong is how Google is saying it.
It's so controversial.
This is great.
Uh,
There's a pronunciation guide
I'm pulling up
from
freaking
MLB.
standing ovation
Hold on,
video.
it's no, hold on. It's from the MLB, actual MLB. Paul DeJong. I'm gonna play the audio. Hopefully, it'll come through my computer. We'll see.
Paul DeYoung.
Oh, it's DeYoung. You were right.
All right.
DeYoung.
Okay. Oof. All
There we
right.
go.
We're back. We are so back today.
So 1
It's
and
like I
1.
took a limitless club for this thing. It's just
1-1.
firing all cylinders right now.
1 and 1.
All
Yeah,
right.
this is we have gone off the rails.
I know. This is bad
But-
for whoever's
Hey,
having to deal with
the,
this.
the important mysteries of the world, right? All right.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple people who didn't know that.
So we'll talk about current week. What's going on this week? So I'll have you got one more than me, so I'll let you go first.
Okay, yeah. So first off, we got I probably should cover it first because it is you. So it's a divisional matchup. Meeting of the minds. We got Tigers versus Twins.
Hopefully.
Are you freaking fired up? You got to keep them off. You got to keep
Very
them
much
off
so.
the tail here.
Very much so. It's gonna be I got Gary Yankees too, which will be a really good matchup, and then I get to play Allen too. I always love playing Allen, so this should be a good week. But yeah, John and I have had plenty of good matchups over the years, and I've been really lucky. I've been getting guys by the name of I don't even remember his name. Daniel Davis, I think was his name or something, for the Angels, who got me a 30-point start last week. So I've been getting luck like that in the past couple of weeks. So we'll see. Should be a good matchup.
Freaking black magic over there. Whatever's going on.
It's crazy.
And then another thing I had was the Blue Jays, who, as we know, already had a pretty solid 3-0 week. Probably going to do it again this week. Playing myself, the Reds, toss-up of a matchup, but also playing the Rays. So again, should probably be a 3-0 week. I don't know. I still think Kevin gave a run for Gary's money there. So
yeah.
But yeah, if they get another 3-0 week and maybe you take on the Yankees, we're looking at a nice divisional matchup here going into next week. It's getting a little closer.
Yeah, love it. I talking about the Mets earlier, right? They also potentially are looking at a 3-0 week. I'd be shocked if they didn't go 3-0.
Yeah.
They're playing the Braves, the Padres, and you. Again, obviously, no offense to you. You've put up some good weeks.
I'll take some offense.
I'll be surprised if the Mets lose this week. And then, well, actually, I'll have you do your last one, and then we'll save the best for last.
Yeah. So the Phils, got to get back on track. We know this, but this is not the week to really do it. Playing the Rockies, Dodgers, and Yankees. So that might be kind of what Adam was looking at when he put out that blog post. He's like, I'm already going. I went 1-2 last week. This Mets team's on fire.
Yep.
They're going to slam dunk 3-0. I'm already looking at a really hard week for myself. Let's just throw in the towel. Which, listen, very admirable and reasonable, but you hate to see it after, this May Phillies team that was totally different. Just a wild month.
Well, I know we kind of talked about it a little bit before too, but it'll just be interesting to see, will he, again, I'm just taking what I've seen in chat and in talking with other owners and stuff, but it'll be interesting to see if his prices change at all for some of his higher end guys, if he becomes a true seller. Because right now I think he's looking at more like either close ETA guys or, low cost MLB controllable guy, that kind of stuff for his higher end guys. It'll be interesting to see if he'll be more open to taking not necessarily less than that, I guess, but just a different package maybe. Because I have to imagine, like, for me specifically, I have no interest, and really there's no value for me in trading away like a CES or a Waldrop or something like that for a Juan Soto or something like that, when those guys next year could be contributing in that same manner. So
you could have a straight up, like, Waldrop could be an absolute star next year, and you're just like thinking yourself,
for
why did I do
$5.
Yeah, exactly. Why did I do that for a Soto? I can, I don't remember Soto's price, but I don't remember. I don't think it's keepable, right? Because he was like one of the big guys.
Yeah, 54, I think.
Okay, then definitely not.
Which if I wanted to, I'll just draft him for 54 in the auction again.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. What the heck? I still keep Waldrop.
So interesting stuff. But then our most exciting watch. We forgot this last week, but our win watch. For Tom and his White Sox this week, probably not going to happen. He's got Pittsburgh, he's got Miami, and he's got Chicago Cubs. Obviously, all three playoff teams, all teams playing really well, so not looking likely there. However, the preview for next week, and I'm sure we will bring this up again next week, but he gets to play you, and he gets to play the Reds. So huge opportunity next week for Tom to get that first win on the board, not go over. I don't think any of us want him to go over, right? Like, we want him to get at least win.
All right. I just thought about this right now, but all of the crappy teams that suck. So listen, we all need to get together on this. And all remaining 2024s that we cannot sell to these freaking losers at the top, like Tyler, who's like, no, I won't give you that. I'm not gonna give you Herschel Waldrop for your freaking Tommy Edman. All those lamos. We gotta give all those 2024s to Tom. We gotta get this guy a win. It's gonna be like when all the boats converge on Dunkirk just to bail him out. That's what we gotta do. We gotta send all our bros to Tom. We just give him this stacked 2024 team that just will be gone next year.
I love it.
He'll pull off like 10 wins end of the season.
I love it. That is awesome. I think that'd be very, very. That would create so many storylines. I guess I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
I don't know if it is, but probably. We'll find out.
This is turning into like some behind behind the boxes on the pier or the dock, just like we're just trading stuff that is just
but Tom
shouldn't be
can't trade
happening.
now. Me after I said this, Tom cannot make a trade with anybody now.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be like, whoa, someone's just giving it to him for free. So Tom, any deal you had down, just get rid of it. You can't even feel like you won a deal.
People are gonna be. You thought the Edmund trade reaction was bad? Wait until you make a trade now. It's gonna be crazy.
Poor guy. I made it way worse for him. I feel bad. I shouldn't have even done that.
That's right. He'll get over it. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else that you wanted to talk about before we get into some All-Star stuff?
Not really. Other than guys, freaking listen. Let's celebrate hard on the 4th, okay?
Hell yeah.
We fought hard against those freaking Brits. We gotta celebrate hard on the 4th coming up. I'm getting real revved up. I've got a couple history bombs already on y'all, and I'm so ready, man. I'm so ready for the 4th.
It's been a great theme. I will say, well, I'll save my rant about 4th of July for after we get through the All-Star format, but I'm much less excited for it than you are for various reasons. So, but let's move on to All-Star. Talk about what we're going to be looking at here. So, Cal and I have kind of been talking about this for months now. This was kind of an idea that we had in the preseason. We were talking about just stuff we kind of wanted to do throughout the year. And then obviously we put it out a few weeks ago. I know you guys gave us some ideas of stuff as well. And this is kind of what we settled on for now. Certainly, we still have a little bit of time to make some tweaks if we need to, but this is kind of how it is going to go. So each of us are going to take a league. I'm going to take the AL. Cal's going to take the NL. And what we are going to do is we are going to create a full starting lineup that is a mirror of our ABL lineups. So we'll have obviously all our hitters, one position each, plus a utility. And then we'll have 3 starting pitchers, 3 relief pitchers, 1 pitcher on the side. And then on top of that, we're also going to have 2 honorable mentions. So there's going to be 1 hitter honorable mention per league and 1 pitcher honorable mention. And then we're going to have a minimum of 1 player per team. So every single team is going to be represented in some capacity. We know that is probably going to create some challenges for us, but that is part of the fun. So we're hoping that'll be pretty cool. Anything you wanted to add onto that?
I will be taking bribes from my honorable mention slots, by the way.
In players, in fab, in picks.
Correct.
Anything.
And here's the thing. All you NL teams that are really good, I know you have the money because you're getting paid for each of these freaking wins. So I better be seeing some of that under the table.
Something.
So, yes.
Something.
I need something. If you guys want these freaking, I don't know. Any player, I don't care who it is. I'll put Tom Yet. I can't do it now. I'll freaking put him on. I don't care. But no, honestly, I am pretty fired up. Again, like I said, I love drafting teams whenever I possibly can. So doing this is like a dream come true, especially mid-season. And then I have the easiest job ever of doing the NL teams. So I do appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Makes it a hell of a lot easier for you. But I think for me, I will not be taking bribes because I want my championship this year to not have an asterisk by it. I just want it to be as clean as it can be. So I will not be taking bribes from anyone. The other thing that we are going to do on top of creating these all-star lineups is we're also going to be giving away some awards. So we'll be doing player-specific awards, and then we will also be doing some team-specific awards. So the mid-season player-specific awards will be things like, and this is going to be per league as well. So this will be MVP, best hitter, best pitcher, mid-season rookie, most improved player, and then most disappointing player. And then for team-specific stuff, we're going to do most improved team. And again, this is ABL teams, not MLB teams. Most improved team, most disappointing team. And then we haven't exactly come up with a finalized list past that, but we're going to try and come up with some other spicy awards in some capacity. Don't know exactly what that's going to be. We're kind of just going to tease that out right now, but really excited about the awards piece as well.
Yeah, listen, I've got a couple right now and cooking in the lab as far as the spicy awards, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm not gonna lie.
And now
I'm pretty excited about the miscellaneous.
So hold on, I gotta look something up. I just something just came to my mind. See, All-Star break. Okay, so it's gonna be in 2 weeks. Because what I was thinking of when you were saying that, I was like, man, do we just have like part of the awards be like part of the tier list? But it's literally middle of the month, so we'll keep it separate. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Really excited for some of this stuff, and it should be fun, right? Kind of like you said, we get to kind of do a draft, so to speak, right? Of
100%
like ABL All-Star team. So it should be pretty fun. But outside of that, anything else from you this week before I go on my 4th of July rant?
Oh God, no! I don't want to say anything. I don't want to impede this. No, 4th of July rant now.
My rant is that I agree with you. I hope everyone has a great 4th of July, celebrating independence. As a former, social studies guy, history teacher, 4th of July has a ton of importance to this country, and everyone should be celebrating it. However, the one thing that I always like to remind people, and this is certainly not something that I learned until I was much older with a family and dogs and such, is that fireworks can scare not only animals, but also 4-year-old and 2-year-old little children and keep them up at night, which means parents stay up at night. So just as a reminder, while you're celebrating our country's independence, try not to make it too crazy.
And not even just that, like even like former vets, because like the people who fire off fireworks are like, we're doing this for you, man. Thank you so much for your service. He's like, dude, you reminded me of every single horrible day I had in my life. Yeah, and it's just like, this sucks. No one's enjoying this.
Well, have fun, dude. You're right. Go to the show, go celebrate the show and stuff like that. But man, if you're still lighting fireworks off at 11, 12, 1,
and the thing is, people do it like, I totally get if you do it from the hours of like, it should only be like from maybe 7 o'clock to like 9:30. Only on the 4th. Yeah, people will do it like the week leading up, the week afterwards. Crazy.
It's
like,
crazy.
Guys, I know you like bought too many fireworks. You know what to do with it. But
it's so true. It's so true. Because it's the people who went and bought just a ton, this massive.
Buy 3 get 1. Hell yeah, let's go. That's all. What a deal. You don't get that anywhere now. So yeah, they'll just go in the fireworks tent. Some rednecks out there smoking a cig next to the fireworks tent. It's like, this can't be legal. This isn't right. So
in Minnesota, there's laws against, I think it's certain kinds of fireworks, and then certain fireworks that like go a certain height in the air. And so if you want to get any like good fireworks, you got to travel across the border to Wisconsin, which people do all the time. It's not like it's about maybe 30 to 40 minutes from me here. And so people come and light them off all the time on 4th of July, but it's that exact same thing. Like, how many shady things are going on with the exchanging of fireworks across state lines and stuff. It's just crazy.
I'm close to Missouri. There's things you haven't even heard of over there. I mean, I think close to Hannibal, they have the world's largest fireworks store. I think they're not lying. I've been in there. I don't think they're lying. First of all, they have like these massive Optimus Primes that are like Autobots. Like they have replicas of the Predator. They're like $10,000 a piece. What? These things. They get them from like Indonesia.
Oh my God.
I have to see if I can find these photos. I was saying, like, any business that's putting that much money into these random statues, I can only imagine
that's
having
crazy.
Nefarious deals that go on behind closed doors for where they can just do this. This is
crazy.
Wild.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So shout out Missouri Fireworks. I did pick up a couple of Black Cat firecrackers. So I'm not gonna lie, but again, they're firecrackers. I'm not too worried about it.
No, as you shouldn't be, and everyone should be allowed to celebrate it, right? Like we should be proud of it.
You can celebrate from 7 o'clock to 9:30. That's when you can celebrate it.
I mean, I'd even give you 10:30 as long as you're not doing them back to back for an hour and a half straight, right?
Yes.
As long as we're not doing that, we're
100%.
good.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Everyone enjoy the 4th. Take time out, hang out with the family. Say thanks to the vets, and we will see you all next week.
Yep.
Bye.
See you guys.
Let's go. Time to grind. Time to get inside your mind. Yeah, we working overtime. That's the only way to climb. We gon' make it in our prime. Signing on the dotted line. Cashing checks left and right. That's the way I'm living life. I feel alive when I gotta go inside. Chip away, I gotta away. Ain't nobody, and I think I see the light. Yeah, that shit is so bright. Follow me, I got the guide. See you on the other side, son. Ain't nobody know what I've been through. Ain't nobody know what I can't do. I'm ready to go to battle. I'll put on a show, that's a